So, ladies and gentlemen, today I have a very special guest with me who basically what happens when you mix coding superpowers with entrepreneurial magic, Mr. Shubham Patil. He is a senior software engineer at Google, formerly at Microsoft. He is 2020 ICPC World Finalist. He also is Snackdown 2021 finalist. Sir, welcome. Welcome to Kannavati University.
Thank you.
And I think it's an honor for us to host you here. Thank you for the accepting the invitation and coming here.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Sir, your journey is quite inspiring and it is very fascinating. Like from being a BTech graduate to software engineering at Google and co-founding AlgoZenith. Can you walk us through your journey?
Yeah, sure. I graduated from IIT Kharagpur in 2020. So when I was in first year, I got introduced by computer programming. So in our college, we have these clubs and seniors who did really well. And then I was curious, like what is this ICPC? What is this computer programming? And then I started exploring. I had a really great friend circle, and we started doing coding or this participating in competitions together. Whenever we stuck, we used to do all these things together. So we had this, we grew together, and then we got better together. Then I got my internship at Google in my third year. Then I graduated, I joined Microsoft, then again switched back to Google. And that was my professional journey. In final year, I founded the startup called AlgoZenith with my three other co-founders. So we all were best friends in college, and so we found there is a gap in like a software engineering preparation. So because we already experienced that, and we saw that there is no common place where you can find everything. It was very scattered, so we thought we can organize and present it and give it to students in a better form. And so that's how we started AlgoZenith. Now it's been 5 years we are working, and we recently had a celebration, 5-year birthday celebration of AlgoZenith. I knew that, so that was my journey.
So the journey has been quite remarkable, I would say. Sir, so how, in your view, how important it is that students get into the competitive programming?
It depends on if students want to grow in a software engineering field, then it's important. There are two ways you can look into it. The first one is from interview point of view, because nowadays it's like a very common thing to ask a fresher who recently graduated these computer programming questions, because these questions require good analytical skills, good problem solving skill, and which is generally what software engineers do in their regular life. And so these are a really great, I would say, a good category of question you can ask. Instead of asking anything which is information based, you can directly ask something which is a pure problem solving. And so this is a really good method that was adapted. Actually, it's currently and today also companies do that. So if you want to go, if any students want to go in a good MNC, good companies like in Google or in Microsoft, in Amazon, so computer programming is really, really important. This is the first thing. Second thing is, while you do computer programming, you get into a habit of something like a problem solving, the thinking, all these things which develops a certain way of thinking, and it's really important. Irrespective of whatever you are doing in Google, I work on a very different thing. It's definitely not a computer programming. It's we do all the development work, but the thinking behind it is very similar to what I used to do while doing computer programming. So I think it's more of a mind preparation, you're preparing your brain, for that, that kind of thinking. So that's why it's very important. At least if you're targeting for a good MNC, or if you want to be a really good software engineer, then yeah, it's very important.
I think what I can perceive from your answer is that it helps you solve the complex problem.
Exactly.
At least it gives you that mindset that you start thinking in that way that you can solve the complex problems.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So how does a typical day at Google looks like?
Oh, okay. So, uh, mine day is not like a not very great. So I wake up, I like after my morning routine, I start working, mostly meeting. I start with meeting. It's my day, and I also end my day with meetings only. Sometimes sometimes if I get a time, I do some coding or some development. Otherwise, my whole day goes into either meetings or reviews or yeah, there only. Yeah.
Right. So what inspired you to co-found AlgoZenith? And another question I would like to add to this question is that your experience at Google, how did it complement to this entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah, sure. This is a really great question. Um, so like I mentioned, when I was in final year, um, we saw there is a gap in the information, like a knowledge, I would say, because when we did, like me and my friends, when we did computer programming for 4 years, um, we knew that it's very important for getting good software engineering job, and it's very important for the career. Um, but the knowledge is very scattered. Like people writes blogs. Some folks are good at some areas and they write their blogs, their videos, and all those things. Some tricks they use regularly in some problems, but but it's like a very scattered. You don't. I mean, we got like it took 4 years to, even more than 4 years to get that knowledge, and if anyone starting freshly, it's again they will take same time. Okay. So, and there was no other solution present which provides this kind of education. So that was the inspiration. I mean, the solution that would exist that time, it was not at a level of I would say ICPC or good level. Like it was like a basic level. So we thought, okay, we're already doing well. We already know a lot of things. So why don't we put together all this our knowledge and present it to our students, so that w- so that they can learn what we learn in like 4 or 5 months. So that was that was the inspiration. So that's how we started Algo Zenith, and it was like a very long journey. We also did change our little bit roadmap and all those things we have changed, and now we have what you see as Algo Zenith today. Um, like my Google professional career helps me a lot in AlgoZenith part also, because when you start something out of the college or in final year, you don't know what to do. Like you don't know the management challenge, operation challenge, or even you don't know the tech challenges. Okay, like in college project, you just write a code, deploy it, and run it. Okay, but that's something you can't do it in company, right? You need to, because it's a running website, it's a running course, it can't go down, right? So So, so working in these big MNCs help me to understand the process, how the operations are managed, how projects are managed, how priorities are decided, how technologies are managed. Okay, and so that's what we learn, and we integrated that into our Algozen startup also.
Right, right. So my next question would be, I think this question would attract a lot of audience. Could you demystify the interview process at Google?
Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Um, I think it is not like it is very public. You can find a lot of articles on internet. Um, so generally, I think I would say getting interview at Google is harder than cracking the interview. That is the reality, because whenever there is a job opening, millions of students, millions of people apply for that. So it's it's very hard, and you only have one or two positions there. So that's why getting the interview is difficult. But if you get the interview, then there is a one phone interview. It is also DSA based questions they ask. Then again, I'm talking about the freshers point of view. Like for experienced engineers, they have domain specific interviews also. But for college grads, new grads, or maybe people who are new in the career, they ask like a purely DSA based questions. That is the first round. They do on a phone. It's a phone interview. It's a short interview. Then there will be like a 3 on-site interview, 3 to 4. It varies. Um, and yeah, so every interview is very independent, and they again ask DSA based questions, and um, to solve that. Basically, you have 45 minutes to solve those problems, and yeah, so better you solve there is a higher chance you will get selected. After this tech interviews, there is a one interview called Googliness. So it's a more of like a HR interview, you can say. They check like if you are fit for the Google culture. So they ask questions around Google culture, how will you solve this problem and that. Um, so yeah, so once you clear all this round, then there is something called hiring manager round, which is a team matching round. Also, we can call, and various hiring manager they come, they take your interview. I mean, if you are interested in their team and they are interested you to take uh, in their team. So basically, if there is a yes from both the sides, then you get an offer for that team. So it is a very pretty standard process, and yeah, that's all.
So I think students need to focus on their data structures, right?
Yeah, that's
the fundamental skill to get into the tech giants like Microsoft, Meta, Google.
Exactly, yeah.
And what other fundamental skills you believe are very important for a student to grasp so that they get into such MNCs?
Like I already mentioned, DS is very, very important. At least from interview point of view, it's very important. Yeah, but when you go into the when you start job, when you start working on a real project, like I said, the mindset that will be there definitely, but the skills that you need to do the regular job is different from DSA. I mean, you won't be coding DSA algorithms there. You'll be working mostly on the development side. So you should know how software is deployed, how to write a good code. You should know the basic object-oriented programming concepts, computer science fundamentals. You should know. So these things helps a lot once you enter the company. But to enter the company, you need some other things. So that is a scenario today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So do you believe the soft skills are also important?
Okay, from interview point of view, it's definitely important. You should have a good communication skill. You don't have to have a great communication skill, but it should be good enough that you should be able to explain what you're thinking, what is the thought process. So that much of a good communication skill is important. Like, even if you are very smart, you can able to solve the problem. But if you can't able to communicate, then it's not of a good use, right? So you should have like that amount of good communication skill that that you can able to explain. Once you start a job in professional career, then communication skill again very, very important. You have to have a good collaboration skill also. You should also know how to prioritize things, how to do time management. So all these skills are very, very important. Like beside a good software engineer, you need these skills also to progress your career further.
Right. So I believe the 3 important skills, as you just spoke, are communication skills, management skills, and just to articulate what you are trying to do.
Exactly.
Right. Articulate the code that you have done to the interviewer is also important.
Exactly.
Right. So, Shubham sir, the technological landscape is evolving at such a speed that is unimaginable. How do you feel that a student today can stay ahead of the curve or try to just keep the pace with the rapidly evolving technologies? So what are your advices on that?
Yeah, I think like you are definitely right. Technology is changing very, very rapidly, and everything you find something new on the news. nowadays LLMs, AIs, these are like very hot topics, and every once a week you find there's a new startup doing something extraordinary. So so it's very changing very rapidly. I totally agree. Um, so from students' point of view, I would suggest they should be on track. They should keep track of this, what is happening in the world, like what new things people are doing, um, how to get that knowledge. I think the simplest way to use social media, like you can use like a Twitter, Instagram also, LinkedIn also. LinkedIn is a great place. You can follow this big people, and they always post. They're very much active. So that you can start. Like for me, because like in my regular day, I get a very little time to spend on social media, but I do get to know about all these things from my friends. So whenever we are having a dinner or lunch or something, we always talk about what is happening here and there. So if anything I miss, I got to know from, okay, this is a new startup here. They are doing this and this. Okay, so we should do that. And yeah, so now only like Prag sent me one one thing. Okay, this is happening now. We should do something like that. So um, so peers are also very important in this case to be updated. Um, yeah. So yeah, that's my answer, I would say.
Right, so networking with the peers is kind of a tech podcast for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, right. So, what are the three emerging technologies that you would suggest the student to get into?
Okay, so first, definitely AI, artificial intelligence. Right? I mean, there is no doubt in it. Um, I mean, even in my regular day to day life, I use it a lot. Even when I'm coding, I use it to write the code also. So that is definitely every student should know, because it's like a regular habit going forward. Always use this LLM models or AI ML models. So it's like a regular thing. So even if you don't know how it's working, but you should know the basic. Every student know the basic. Like I mean, when you're writing a code, when you're deploying the code, um, you should know the fundamentals of computers, right? So it is like the thing, you are using the tool, you are using a chat GPT or whatever you are using, you should know the fundamentals of machine learning. Okay, so this is like a very important skill that, I think going forward this will be one of the core computer science skill now. So with operating system, database, networks, I think machine learning will also be one of the core computer science skill. So this is very very important. um the other things that other skills that students can have is, like I said again, computer science skills, like the others one, like operating system, networks, database, because these are like a very common, like every computer, everything that you see around here, even the camera here and all, they're based out of it. Like you should know like how these things work fundamentally. So yeah, that is one thing. And second and third important skill um, students should have is writing a good code. So the reason why I'm specifically mentioning it, because um, there are certain paradigms, like in coding only. Okay, it's not about how you solve the problem, it's all about how you implement. And they should know that, because writing a good code in a good object oriented manner, following standard designs, these are like a really really important. Like from my experience, when a fresher writes a code, it is okay, it will work definitely. But now after a month, if anyone wants to do any changes in that code, it's very hard. Okay, so that is like another skill. Like I mean, other than problem solving and everything, you should also focus on getting this expertise. Okay, like even if you're writing a complete programming code on other platforms, write it nicely. Okay, that habit will help you a lot in future. It's not very popular, but again, uh, that will benefit you a lot.
Right. Students, make a note here. Writing clean and explainable code is very, very important.
Exactly, yeah.
Right. So, and what I understood also is that though the emerging technologies are taking all over,
Hmm.
the fundamental skills are yet still important.
Yes, yeah,
The database management system, the OOPS concepts, and all of that is very, very important.
exactly.
Right. So, Shubham sir, how do you feel? Say, for example, if you were a student and you were entering college today, how important it would be and how crucial it would be that your ecosystem is multidisciplinary and it is innovation driven.
Yeah, it's very important. I mean, so I graduated from IIT Kharagpur, and I shouldn't say this, but I think the students there are like very smart than the curriculum college structures they had. It's the whole environment is students driven there. I got to know a lot of things because my peers, my seniors were doing, and I think it's true for almost every one of them there. Like students drive a lot of things. They're like everything you mentioned, like robotics, like AIML or anything. All things are there. I mean, any field you mention, they must have some club and they're doing something very extraordinary there. They're participating like a very really great contest and winning them. And also, I personally think the environment matters a lot and the culture matters a lot. So, and it has to be happen from students. Like when they reach their third year or fourth year, they should also give back to the college. Okay, they should also actively train their next generation. So that should also happen because that culture is very important, and that culture drives like helps students to get into like in professional career. So yeah, it's very important.
Right. So, my last question to you would be, what was your first impression at Karnataka University and the kind of energy it brings?
Okay, so my first impression is was like it is a really beautiful campus, no doubt, very clean, very green, and yeah, very nice campus. So yeah, so I see that every day is something happening here. Okay, when I enter, there was some dolls and all that thing was there. Then I went to the other side again. Some different event was happening. So it is like a lot of events are happening in this campus. So it is good. So and I took one session yesterday. Mostly first years were there, and these people have a really good energy. And I mean they are in first year, so I'm not expecting that they would know a lot of things. They are very enthused about knowing things. So it's a really good thing because now they have a curiosity. They want to do something that I feel like they want to do something, and so it's a good start. Like I mean, they can start when they can start building a career because I think it's computer science is very new in this college, and they can start building the career when they, like I said, they can set up the environment here, and I'm pretty sure like when it in next few years, I think the people will do like very good things here. Yeah.
Great, great, great. So thank you so much. And we would like to host you again and again so that you can help our students prepare strategies so they can get into tech giants as you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.